Is Balcones True Blue a true winner or a true bust? Let's find out. Today I'll be doing another quick review. I am reviewing an original Texas whiskey from Balcones Distillery. Now, I am doing this for 3 reasons. 1, earlier this year I had the pleasure of stopping by the distillery and enjoying a few of their spirits. It was a good stop. 2, I want to get more information out there about Texas whiskey. And 3, I have a fun collaboration with a few buddies of mine coming up very soon. So, make sure to subscribe to not miss out on that exciting collab, and believe me, you don't want to miss it. Balcones has an interesting diversity of spirits and not all whiskey. They have their normal classic releases, along with some annual releases that include single malt whiskey, Texas single malt rum cask finish, and True Blue corn whiskey finished in Tequila Cask. I did do a blind on tequilas finished in different Buffalo Trace bourbon casks, so if you have not seen that video, I will leave a link to it right here. Today, we will review True Blue cask strength single barrel corn whiskey finished in Tequila Cask. It is a certified Texas whiskey matured in ex-tequila cask for 77 months. This is a cask strength single barrel coming in at a 59 alcohol by volume, making it 118 proof. This is barrel number 14,235. We'll be using my normal scoring system of 1 to 10 in each of these categories: aroma, flavors, complexity, mouthfeel, finish, and of course, would I buy again? Alright, let's go ahead and pop this bad boy open. Ooh, nice little pop there. I always love the way it sounds when we pour it. And let's just give it a little swirl. Right, so let's start on the nose, or aroma. Okay, at first, you get a lot of that alcohol up front, but it's not very strong on that part, which is nice considering that it's at 59% alcohol by volume. You get a little bit of smell of like corn, a little bit of pecan, and kind of a little bit of banana, like an overripe banana.
Great banana.
Not just like a banana, but like how when it gets darker and it has that overripe smell. It smells a little bit like candy, so like a candy pecan in a way, with a little bit of hint of butter.
Butter?
Butter. Now that I said butter out loud, I keep spelling that. So on aromas, from a scale to 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this an 8. So let's go on for that initial taste, the flavors on this. Okay, it does have a nice oily texture on it. I kind of taste that pecan taste here, like a praline, candy pecan a little bit, and it kind of just stays on the mouth. A little bit of, I don't know how to, like a little bit of spice, so it's a little bit spicy.
Spicy.
With a little bit of sweetness, maybe a little bit of like maple syrup. Now, this is my first drink of the day. I didn't warm up my palate, so that's actually my first taste for the day. So on a scale from 1 to 10 for flavors, for the initial taste, I'm gonna give it a 7. So let's look at the complexity. Let's see how this is evolved on my tongue. We're gonna go in for that second drink and concentrate on how it evolves over my tongue. This is actually pretty good that it doesn't get your tongue hot. It actually covers the front, goes to the back. There is a lot of sweetness in here, a lot of fruitiness, like kind of like a candy. Now, that banana smell I had doesn't come onto my tongue, so I don't have any banana taste on this. But it's a very interesting drink. I kind of like it, how it's kind of evolving from a little bit of alcohol to that sweetness and candy flavor to almost a fruit, and then kind of a little bit of a nuttiness.
Creamy, salty, sweet, and oaky nuttiness.
I'm starting to taste a little bit of nuttiness towards my mid palate. So on complexity, I'm gonna give this a 7. Next, we're going to check for mouthfeel. This is the thickness and the viscosity of it over the tongue. It does stick pretty well to the glass. It has some legs, but they do run kind of quickly, so let's see how that is over the tongue. Wow, every time I take a drink of this, I like a little bit more. But let's talk about the mouthfeel, thickness and the viscosity. As I mentioned in my first drink, it does have an oily kind of texture to it, so it does stay well on the tongue.
On my tongue.
The interesting thing is, it clears the front of my tongue pretty quickly. It seems to stick on the middle of my tongue and a little bit towards the back, but really in that middle part. That middle part where I keep tasting that nuttiness, that fruit, the pecan kind of flavor in it. I don't get a lot of oakiness in this, and that's interesting because I thought there'd be a little bit more oakiness, especially the way I was smelling it. On the mouthfeel, I'm actually going to give this a 6. Next, we're going to go over the finish. So let's see how this finishes. So as mentioned before, it has some good thickness and some good viscosity that stays on that tongue. Kind of clears the front, but it goes towards the middle and really not towards the back. I still have that nice sweetness taste that I've had, and it's carried over from drink to drink, so it does stay there pretty decent. Now you're getting kind of get like supple notes of a little bit of honey in there, like that sweetness. That's what it is. It's actually reminding me of the honey flavor that I got from those bourbon guys pick. And if you haven't seen that review, I will leave a link to that right here. But that's what it's, I was trying to figure out, okay, it's reminding me of something else, and that's what it is. It's that honey flavor I was getting from those bourbon guys first pick. So that's very interesting to me.
Very interesting.
Now, with the finish, it's already kind of going away. So I'm not getting very big of a Texas hug. I don't feel the ring going down, and I don't feel it like hugging there for very long. So the finish is a little bit less than I would like, but it is there. The sweetness stays, but everything else seems to kind of go away. But I do like it. So for the finish, I'm gonna give it a 5. Now, the big question is, would I buy this again? So it's at MSRP about $50. I think that's a very good price for this. It is an annual release, so it's not as easy to get. And a lot of times when you get those, it jacks up the price a lot. But if you can find it at MSRP for $50, this is a definite buy again. Now, how much would I max pay for this? I'd probably go like to $80, $90 and pay that easily. I don't know what it goes on secondary because I didn't look, and I don't know if there's a really big secondary market for this, but 50 to 80 bucks, no problem. I would buy this again. I really do like it. I like the way it's nice and sweet. It's a little bit smoother. It doesn't have much of a burn. I think this is a good one to try for people who are not big bourbon drinkers or not big whiskey drinkers, but you want to get them to try something with a lot of flavor, because it does have a lot of flavor on it.
Yummy.
Would I buy it again? Score would be a 9. I didn't hold up. My total score for this is 42 out of 60. I think that's a pretty solid score. Great for an annual release. Another good Texas whiskey. I think this one, if you can find it out there, definitely pick it up and try it. I want to thank you again for joining me on another journey down the whiskey rabbit hole. Till the next time, my friends, cheers.